Hey everybody, this is Alicia here. I saw a matinee performance of The Raven today, and I wanted to do a review on it and let you all know what I think of it. There might be spoilers in here. Also, there might be, I don't know, maybe some strong language later along the line because there's a lot of issues with this movie that I'm really passionate about, so I don't know how colorful my language is going to be. So, yeah, if you're sensitive to that and if you don't want possible spoilers, probably you'd want to hit the back button right now. So anyway, let's get started with the things that I did like about the movie. First of all, for those of you who don't know, I am a huge Edgar Allan Poe fan. I've read his stuff since I was a kid. I had a very strange childhood. But yeah, I loved it. I love his work. I've read it since I was little. And so when I saw the trailer for this movie and saw it was going to be, directed by the same guy who did, V for Vendetta, and with this big budget Hollywood movie with Edgar Allan Poe in it, I was psyched. I was, hyped as hell. It was just an amazing thing to think, oh my gosh, Hollywood and Edgar Allan Poe, this is going to be great. And then, of course, they pushed the release date back to March, from March to April, and of course I was not happy about that. So anyway, weeks of waiting, one of my favorite authors, Hollywood movie, I was really excited. So then, needless to say, a lot of stuff was really underwhelming for me with this movie. But again, I'm going to start off with the things that I did like and thought were done really well. First of all, the visual aspect of the movie, it looks great. I mean, from the opening shot, you see this raven and he's sitting on this tree branch in this misty forest at nighttime. It just looks amazing. And when I saw that, I was like, wow, this is going to be great. And then the movie started. And, yeah, first of all, my biggest gripe with it, John Cusack as Edgar Allan Poe. Not the first choice I personally would have picked. I would have gone with somebody like Edward Norton or Johnny Depp or something like that. But yeah, he was not the best Edgar Allan Poe. I honestly don't think he's a very good actor. I think somewhere along the line in acting class, somebody taught him that playing a scene intensely means either shouting all your lines or speaking your lines so quickly and mumbling them to where you can't understand what he's saying. And his Edgar Allan Poe was not how I personally saw Edgar Allan Poe. His Poe was very angry, bitter poet, who's pissed off that he knows what a good writer he is, but nobody else knows it, and why doesn't anyone else see it? And he's just mad and angry at that. And yes, Poe, I think he was cursed by the fact that he knew how good he was, and no one else seemed to recognize it. But the way John Cusack played him just was not the Edgar Allan Poe I personally saw. So, not the greatest actor for the role, who didn't really have the right acting style for the part. So then there was that. And this is probably even my bigger complaint, the love interest. In the movie, it takes place after Poe's wife dies. And, which is fine. You want to set it after, Virginia Poe dies, that's fine. But good God, the love interest was boring. And my God, she could not act her way out of a paper bag. I'm sorry. It seemed like they picked her because they knew they wanted to cast, the pretty girl, the pretty blonde girl who would play the girl who, it's almost like they inspired her character by a teenager who loves Edgar Allan Poe just because, he's a tortured artist and I understand that, and just no. And they just cast her just because she was pretty and she could play that pretty actor or pretty actress who knew that, he's the tortured artist. I understand that we're perfect for each other, and just, no. And then there's the fact that we only know her for like 10 minutes before she gets kidnapped by the serial killer. And that's it. And we're supposed to care so much about, oh my God, is Edgar gonna save her? Are they gonna end up together? I really don't give a crap about her. I'm sorry, I just don't. I don't really give a shit whether she lives or dies, because the actress can't act, the fake storyline is stupid, and the fact that Poe's real wife only gets mentioned in one scene, and I was tearing my hair up by that point. I'm like, oh my God, really? You're only going to mention Virginia Poe in one scene and make it seem like yes, he loved his wife, but oh, she died, and oh, that means he can look for his real soulmate now. Oh my God, I wanted to jump through the screen and kill the people who wrote that part, because I mean, I know people have issues with the fact that Poe's wife was also his cousin, and yeah, that's kind of strange to say the least and a little disturbing, but it's what really happened in history. Fucking deal with it. Yes, they were cousins, but they were a happy couple. They loved each other. For the most part, they were happy together. And when Virginia Poe got consumption, as it was known back then, now it's known as tuberculosis, that was hell for Edgar Allan Poe. She was only alive for as long as she was because of how young she was. But yeah, those were 5 years of hell for Edgar Allan Poe. And so when you look at that and look at how much they cared about each other and how in love they were, and then look at this, and they only mention her once in the whole fucking movie, because, oh, Emily's supposed to be, his soulmate. She brought him out of the sadness that he was in after his wife died. Oh my God, I just hated that part of the movie. So, yeah, basically, my basic thoughts on the movie were, visually, it looked great. And the references to Poe, the basic fact of it being a serial killer that takes his killings inspired by Poe's work, that would have been enough of a movie for me. Just that. Why not that? As much as I hate all the remakes and all that crap that they're doing now, I still haven't seen this movie, but I know the basic idea. Look at The Raven done in the 1930s with Bela Lugosi. He's a mad doctor inspired by Poe and commits all his crimes and stuff based off of Poe. That's all you need for a gory horror movie. You don't need the fake love interest. You don't need, yes, Bela Lugosi had his love interest, but it was entwined in the movie. You understood why he was doing what he was doing. God, it's just stupid. You see Emily for like 5 minutes. She gets kidnapped by the serial killer, and we're supposed to give a crap that she got kidnapped, and Edgar wants to go after her and save the day and catch the killer who's inspired by all his work and all this crap, and this is, God, I hate it. Yeah, my point is the movie was great, and for any other fellow Edgar Allan Poe fans, I say it's definitely worth seeing just because of all the Poe references. When they started quoting Edgar Allan Poe, the actual stories and poems, I was sitting there whispering the quotes to myself and getting strange looks at other people in the movie theater. So yeah, definitely for the other Poe fans, go and see it just because it looks great and all the references are awesome. Basically, if I was doing it, I would have cast somebody different in the lead role. I would have cast maybe Edward Norton as Edgar Allan Poe. I would have cut out the god-awful fake love interest who never existed. As far as I know. Yes, there were other women in Poe's life after his wife died, but I don't think there was someone named Emily. So I would have cut out the angsty teenager insert that they stuck in the movie, cast someone else as Poe. But other than that, everything looks great. There was the Mask of the Red Death scene that looked pretty awesome. So things looked great, but just, yeah, different actors, different plot elements, and but yeah, those are my basic thoughts on it. And if you leave a comment below, I'll probably have more. But yeah, basically, great for the Poe references, great for the visual look of the movie. But yeah, that's pretty much it. So maybe even I would say wait until the movie comes out on DVD and rent it or something. It's probably not worth all the price of the movie ticket and then the popcorn and all that stuff. So yeah, check it out if you're a Poe fan. And that's the other thing. The only good thing I think I could see coming out of this movie is the fact that it will introduce people to Edgar Allan Poe and his writing. Other than that, see it if you're a Poe fan, see it if you're interested in that sort of thing. But yeah, if not, wait for it on DVD. Other than that, I'd say skip it, and skip it because bad acting, bad, forced romance and all that stuff. If you're a fellow Edgar Allan Poe fan, leave a comment below because I always love meeting new people who are fans of Poe and his work. And so yeah, definitely go. But if you want a good Poe stuff, go check out, anything Vincent Price has done. His reading of The Raven's really awesome. Go see the movie with Bela Lugosi, which actually I'm going to do that right now. Go look up Jeffrey Combs. He's playing right now. It's actually at a theater in LA, the Steve Allen Theater. It's called Nevermore, an Evening with Edgar Allan Poe. It's a one-man show with Jeffrey Combs as Edgar Allan Poe, and it looks awesome. I'm even going to see if I'm going to go get tickets. So yeah, basically there's definitely a lot better Poe-related stuff out there for you to go see if you want to see movies of it and plays and things like that. And of course, also read Poe. Read his work, read all his things, because he left behind a great legacy. I'm waiting still on a great modern-made biopic of Edgar Allan Poe. In fact, I'm a writer, a playwright, hope to be screenwriter, so hopefully maybe even I'll write that someday. So yeah, basically, hit and miss. Go check it out. Check out The Raven if you're a Poe fan. But yeah, those are my thoughts. And this is Theater Raven, Alicia signing off. So thanks for listening, guys.